Welcome back into Indie B&B. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're joined by my great friend, former Clemson long snapper turned rock star, Jim Brown. Jim, how are things up in Nashville?
What's up, man? All is well. Just getting settled in. I actually just moved here a couple of weeks ago, so getting settled in, man. But trying to get the roots down and make a way for it.
I like it. I like it. Well, you mentioned you just moved into Nashville, so you're getting into the scene, but it doesn't seem like you're a stranger to music and your secret music career. I walked through your home in Clemson multiple times. Never really saw anything other than dirty clothes on the floor. So
probably, yeah.
Where did this come from? Like, how long you been doing this? Like,
yeah,
what's up with this? Give me
Dude,
the origin.
So it's crazy how it started. When I tore my first ACL in 9th grade, I just picked up a guitar and started learning. I was like 2 weeks on a bedridden, right? And so I just started learning G chords, D chords, C chords, and kind of tabled it during college. I'd play occasionally, once a night or once every 2 nights or so. And then once college was over, man, I just kind of latched on to one thing. I taught myself piano, taught myself guitar, started learning music theory, started learning really like the mechanics of music, and then diving into songwriting. And took vocal lessons kind of under the radar for about a year, and kind of secretly writing songs behind the scenes, and then started hitting open mics, gradually got to cover songs, gigs, played a bunch of gigs around Charleston for about 3 or 4 years, random bars and parties, that sort of scene. And then yeah, started releasing music this year. So it's been a cool little run. Wow.
So what makes you want to just pick it back up post college? Was there obviously I share your sentiment playing college football. There's a hole in your life after you get done with a lot of time to fill. So
yeah,
was that partly into it, or what was the main
I think that's it. I think you hit the nail on the head, man. It's like a big piece of it, a big piece of you that is all you've known is gone, and you kind of fill the void with something else. And mine just happened to be the closest thing within arm's reach, and it was a guitar.
I love it. Well, it's super cool and super healthy. Like, what are the things as you got through? Like, you took you said you kind of took the vocal lessons under the wraps. Like,
yeah.
Was there a circle that knew about the vocal lessons, or was
I mean, like, I was living with Stanton at the time, so Stanton knew about it. Shout out to Stanton.
Yeah.
And I would always pitch my new songs to him and a couple other buddies, and just put feelers out there. And I never really had the guts to release music until this year. A friend of mine, Grace Harrison, who's a songwriter in Texas, kind of pushed me to do it. And I don't know, man. I always latched on to music that I felt emotional to. And so I kind of felt like I wanted to portray that and sort of do that as well, connect with people through music. And I don't know, I feel like I have the ability to do that, and it'd be a shame if I didn't,
Yeah, definitely. Well, so Grace, is pushing you in, trying to get you to do, release music. What was kind of the holdup for the releasing of music? Was it just like you're like, hey man, I want to get more gigs underneath my belt before I start putting out originals, or like what was kind of the holdup there?
I think a little bit of I've always wanted to be in a band. There's only so much I can do with one guitar and a loop pedal. I do a lot of live looping when I play gigs, but the drummer and the bass just you got to have them. So I never really found a couple of guys that I jived with, and so I'm hoping that here now that I'm in Nashville, I'll find a couple of guys that I can jam with. I've already found a great group of guys that have been producing my music. Garrett Stoner, a guitarist, Alex DeVore, who's actually the keyboard player for Jody Messina, who does Heads Carolina, Tails California. He's a really talented piano player. All in the last 3 songs. Gotten to know them. I don't know, man. Just life's short, and I'm 30 this year, so why the hell not?
I like it. Well, kind of take it back a little bit. You are starting to write songs. Like, what were some of the things that really got you going, got you inspired to put words to a page? That I know that's the hardest thing to do. So what is it, the things that you got you rolling to be like, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
need to talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of songs that that I've written that are are getting ready to be released. I just went and recorded 10 demos on Friday for hopefully my first album. But really got on TikTok, man, and started posting TikToks, and then the Murdoch murder trial happened, and I don't know if you heard about that down in South Carolina, which is
I heard a little thing about it.
yeah, which is where I'm from, that small town, right? And knew of the family and knew some of them growing up, and I thought, man, like what a cool marketing opportunity for me to come out of the gate. Like if I write a song about this, because I know everybody in the town, I know the situation.
Yeah.
So I wrote that song and posted it on TikTok, and then got a ton of traction on TikTok. And everybody's pushing me like, when is it coming out? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And so just felt this like external pressure, like even if I only do one song, I've got to get this out there so people can hear it. But one song led to two songs, led to three songs, led to four. So now I'm just gonna keep rolling, man.
I love it. I love it. So that's interesting. What was the with the trial, like, is that the kind of the premise for the Devil in the Gavel? I'm assuming. That's the one
Yeah,
that
man.
we got going.
It's actually, the song is a lot deeper than I think what people that hear it listen to. I mean, I put a ton of thought into how that song should be designed. I don't know if you know the case, but basically a dad murdered his wife and his son, and then there's also a living son. And so I wrote the first verse about the mom, and there's a lot of innuendos and different oxymorons and things related to the case. The second verse is about the other son that was killed. The bridge is about the living son, and then every chorus is about the father, which is the devil in the gavel, which has multiple meanings, but essentially it means that it was where the devil met his maker in my hometown at the courthouse, where he's in jail now. So I tried to get it out before the case was closed, but I missed it by a couple of weeks. But hey, man, it's still cool. Yeah, that's kind of how it went.
I love it. I love it. I mean, like that's totally, being a storyteller, finding something that's an actual event going on, and being able to relate some music to it. So, what again when you kind of broke the song down and you were doing it, what made you want to make, all right, verse one's going to be about mom, and like let me, did that help you focus the writing a little bit, or like what was kind of the deciding factor?
Yeah, I always start with the music and start with a hook. And there had been a hook I'd been working on for a couple months on my electric that sounded really gritty and nice. And it's actually the main theme of the song when you listen to it. It's a minor pentatonic, just 4 or 5 notes repeated over and over again. And I'd been messing around with that on my electric, and just the words came out. It started with the first verse, and then the story was really easy to tell because of all the details, right? When I'm telling stories in other songs, if I have to think back of old memories, or I put myself in an external situation to try and write a song, I don't have that many details. I can create them, but when there's that much content for a song, like it was almost like I had to scale back. I could have written 8 or 9 verses, but I kind of had to scale it back and take the best of what I had. It was funny, man. Actually, when the TikTok came out, like I just released the chorus, and I hadn't written the second verse or the bridge. So I had to spend like, a couple of days finishing the song, which ended up being fine, but that was still cool nonetheless.
You didn't want to write American Pie, the American Pie version of the murder trial song?
Right,
I mean, come
right.
on now. I mean,
Seriously.
could have 8 or 9. You need to, later on down the line, the extended version, 10 minutes total, 40-minute or 5-minute guitar solo in it. Really just get it going. I think
I want to do that, dude. I want to write a ballad for sure. And I think I could have turned that into one. It actually started out as the Ballad of a Southern Lawyer, and then it morphed into the Devil in the Gavel, and a rifle and a bobble is the other kind of rhyme there. So it just worked, man.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, that's we ask a lot about, kind of the song spotlight, which would be the Devil in the Gavel for this, in case of our episode here. But like, a lot of times, like the people were like, yeah, the song really was easy because it just came out, and like those are the ones I think that like every songwriter tries to capture. It's trying to find that one, that like just it just flows out of you, and ends up being a pop, a hit. So
It's
What
hard, man. You
I'm
try to
sure.
force yourself sometimes to do it, and you can't. I'm used to powering through things, and sometimes you can't. You got to table them and come back to them.
Yeah. So you mentioned you have a couple other songs on Spotify. One
Yeah,
song turned into two to three. So with those other songs, is it similar? Is there an event that's circumventing those, or are they kind
yeah,
of a little bit different?
yeah. The second song is called Highway 17. I think it's a song everybody can relate to. It's about a highway in South Carolina that I used to drive up and down with my sister going to high school every morning. So it's a nostalgic feel. Um, all my songs are going to have big guitars in them. I love guitars. I don't know if you can see on the wall. I've got Ted Nugent, Peter Frampton, Jimi Hendrix, Van
Yeah.
Halen, Alice in Chains. I love big guitars, man. So, it's Highway 17 is a little bit nostalgic, about kind of a past situation, which is kind of easy to relate to with anybody. And then the song that just came out is called Tethered Soul, and it's a song I wanted to release stripped down. It's just me with an acoustic guitar and then piano in the background, and it's more about depression, drinking too much, bad situation that I think a lot of people can relate to. But it's a lot deeper than the other two,
Mhm.
and a little more vulnerable. So I'm kind of trying to cover my bases, man.
I love it. I love it. Well, you mentioned earlier, who were some of the influences on your music? Like you said to me, like before we started, like hey, I'm not trying to be a country artist. You're not going to catch me talking about beer on the back porch or anything like that. But
Yeah.
you're just so redneck that it comes out that way. So, like, what
Yeah.
what what are some of the people that have
Yeah.
influenced you to kind of, what are some of the things that you hope to, people take away and be like, man, Jim Brown, when I hear him, like, this is what
Yeah.
you should think of.
Yeah. I mean, I love rock. I love, grunge rock. I love Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. Like that's where the roots are. Um, Even some softer stuff after the grunge, like Hootie. I've heard I sound a little bit like Darius, that baritone kind of vocals, him and Eddie Vedder. Um, that sort of style of music. Wallflowers, love the Wallflowers, that sort
Yeah.
of feel. But the lyrics come out country, like the stories I tell are a little more country. So um, I want to give it a good mix of the two. It's somewhere between rock and country. I guess it's Americana. Some people might call it country.
Yeah.
Um, Either way, man, I just kind of want to tell a story and have big guitars and a little bit of drums and some bass in there.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's good. You mentioned, yeah, for Devil in the Gavel, you're about to release a video. So talk to me about, that process of creating that, filming it, who's in it, what's going
Yeah.
on in it, what should we expect?
Yeah, no. So it's actually for Tethered Soul. It's an
Tether
acoustic
Soul.
stripped
Okay,
down.
got it.
Yeah, yeah. Which is cool though. It's the live take. I wanted, like, that was the point of the song was, like, part of me wanted people to know that, like, I I can play, like, right, like, I think some people thought, especially my hometown, like this was a joke, like that I put a TikTok out and this song was. I'm sure, like, you might too, like, what's he doing, but like I'm actually a trained guitarist, right? Like I can play, and
Yeah,
so like I wanted to do a live take in the studio. This is a song stripped down, me playing, like, small edits on the vocals, but nothing on the guitar, and just be able to kind of showcase what I'm able to do on the guitar.
I love it. I mean, like, I think
Yeah.
that that's perfectly, perfectly needed because
Yeah.
people, I think maybe have one perception of you. Like, just like I walk in here and I go, "Hey, Jim, what the hell are you talking about? You got music.
Yeah. Right.
You're a long snapper.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, you're a
Yeah. Yeah.
football player."
You're way too goofy to be a musician.
Yeah, what are you talking about? But what's funny is, I'll tell the listeners, like, I look at Jim's Instagram and I see that he's playing a So Far show,
Yeah.
and that's something that, that's a, small concert venue show here, that happens a lot of places. Atlanta is one of the places that have them. And I think that, I see him in the So Far Houston sphere. So talk about that, man. Like, you've played live, you mentioned some covers, you mentioned some,
Yeah.
cover shows and getting to that point. So, like, talk about the live kind of steps you've taken, starting from the first little bit, kind of just playing open mics to get to where you are today, where you're probably
Yeah.
looking to book some shows, probably looking to get noticed a little bit.
Yeah, man. So I was taking vocal lessons. We had a recital and I played at the recital, and Stanton and his girlfriend Emma were and her parents were showed up and listened. And that was in, I think, 2019. And honestly, like I killed it. I thought I killed it. Did a Hurricane by the band The Heathens and Plush by Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh,
After that, I was like, man, I could play live for events, and so that year I did a New Year's event, and then just started getting gigs, man. Played at this like retirement home, a couple parties there, and then next thing you know, was playing bars at Edisto Beach, and then played some bars in Charleston, random shows, a lot of places down at Edisto, Walterboro, etc., Columbia. Just playing around, man, trying to figure it out. And then played the House of Blues at the restaurant in Houston, which was a lot of fun. The Arbors and Round Top, which is like a antique show out in Texas, really popular. Got to play out there. Yeah, and then I said, hey, I got to stop playing covers, man. Like I gotta table that for a little while, and let's put my stuff out there.
I asked another band about like playing covers, and one of them is in a popular, like, I think they do covers every now and then. I'm like, so how much, like, what's the difference? Would you guys ever be open to putting them in your set? And he was like, no, because like I don't get pumped up to play someone else's music. I get pumped up to play my music. So with your set, like, I guess I'd love to know what your cover set was. I'm always curious because, like, whenever I hear somebody's just a musician who's playing, like, how do they pick that? What are they trying to, I guess what's the feeling there? And then, obviously, as you get into your, what you want to build a set around now, like, what is that kind of that transformation that's happened?
Yeah, the sets used to be a lot of rock and country, like popular, party songs. But with music theory, right, I'd always merge songs. So I'd pick a key for a cool one I did was White House Road by Tyler Childers with Shine by Collective Soul. I'd always merge those two songs together. It's like like would merge the two songs, right? And would do that throughout the set list to kind of keep the crowd engaged, right? And then would always mix in my own songs when no one was listening, so that I got comfortable playing my own songs in front of people, And then now it's morphed into actually playing in front of people that want to lend an ear, whereas before it was just drunk people at a bar or whatever who weren't paying a bit of damn attention. So it's kind of changed, right? Like I do my sets now where people are listening, but like playing all those cover songs, like it really helped me now, so that when I do have people listening, like I'm comfortable, and if I miss a note or I'm a bit off pitch, like I can correct myself and get back on track, and nobody really catches it,
Yeah. I mean, I bet it's just good reps getting out there and just like, all right, like
Exactly.
we're gonna play the same stuff, and we're gonna have a good set, and like, hey, now you got that in your mind. I like that.
That's it,
So,
man.
for someone who hasn't had the pleasure, or we're hoping to see you soon, what's your dream tour, or for right now, like, what you'd want to start doing, and what do you want people to feel when they leave a set with you?
Yeah. I think that's a constant battle I have, right? Like I want to take this as far as it'll go. Like, but I've said this, like I'm not trying to be the next Chris Stapleton. I don't have huge dreams, but I do want to find a crowd that appreciates my own music. Like I really want that, because I do feel like I write songs that can relate to everybody, even if they might, maybe even if you don't think so, right? Like I mean, I just want to find a good niche of audience that enjoys it and play to those people and just see where it goes.
Yeah. What's the set like now? I mean, like, do you have, you said you got about 8 songs.
Yeah.
When you're putting them together, if you were to play a show tomorrow, you got to fill 40 minutes. I mean, like, what's, how are you picking them? What's your, how are you gonna determine what do you want to put in there, what do you not want to put in there?
Yeah, so it depends, right? Like if it's just me, like I love doing the live looping. I'll loop a couple of my own songs and do big solos. I I'd probably do 12 to 15 of my own songs. Obviously some that aren't released. I do some really cool covers of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Little Wing, Riviera Paradise, like some songs that are difficult to play. I'd probably mix in a little Stone Temple Pilots, some Roots, some songs from the Under the Influence, and then I'd mix in the ones I just played and a couple more that will be released soon.
I love it. Well, we look forward to getting you out here,
man.
getting you to a maybe a venue near us in
That'd be
Atlanta.
sweet. Be sweet.
I think like I had the pleasure of talking with Juliet Rowe from Smith's Old Bar, and for any kind of artist who's up and coming, like she was telling me, she's like, it's really important to have Spotify up to date, really important to have a website, really important to have she was kind of listed off these things that they look at. She's like, hey, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, and I'm gonna figure out whether you're right for Smiths or right for us, and kind of go from there. And I think I had a similar conversation with a booker who does some of the other venues here in Atlanta, and like it's again, all that stuff being in order, like that's the ticket right there.
Dude,
and
that's my battle. Like when we were Clemson, like social media was such a no-no, right? And so then I got done with it, right? And for 3-4 years, I really wasn't on social media at all. And now like I have to have it as a musician, and it's painful for me. I don't like doing it. So I'm kind of still like working through that and trying to put myself out there, as best as I can. So it's a work in progress, man.
I love it. We're never finished. That's for sure.
That's right.
That's the main thing. But as long as we're keeping those steps forward, I think that's always good.
That's it.
Before I get all misty on you with some more Daboisms there, I want to make sure that we get into Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. 20 questions right in a row. Jimbo, are you ready?
Shoot them.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Salad or soup?
Soup. Not a rabbit. Great.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Ooh. I'm gonna go home run.
Oh,
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go home run. Only because I've been in real softball at Clemson, just dropping bombs.
I mean, there's nothing like a better feeling than dropping a bomb in some softball. I mean, that's for sure.
That's right.
Are you more likely to have a night in or night out nowadays?
Right now, night in, 100%. 10 years ago, you know me, I was always out.
Oh yeah, I love it. All right, when you do go out though, I know you do still, or you hit that one of those 400 weddings you probably have gone to in your mid-20s here.
Sure.
Are you more likely to do the robot or the worm when your jam comes on?
Probably robot.
All right.
You don't want me getting on the floor, Grant. You do not. You do not want that.
Guac or queso at your Mexican spot?
Queso, right. 100%. Absolutely.
I love it. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Okay. All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Dogs or cats?
Come on. Dog.
Dogs.
No, you won't.
Oh man, that would have been the first dog appearance I think on Indiebnb history. There he is. Love it. Ninja or a pirate? What do you like more?
Ninja or pirate?
Yeah. What do you more like?
Pirate.
I mean, you lived in Charleston, so you might as well be a pirate. Gatorade or Powerade?
Oh, we're going Gatorade, dude. Do you remember how good the orange Gatorades were we used to get after practice? Oh my god, dude, that was the best. It was the best drink in the whole world. When we get done and have those orange Gatorades at the table after practice.
Dude,
not for me because I wasn't really doing anything, but you were.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, sweat my ass off out there.
Yeah.
Toast or bagels in the morning?
Bagels.
Love it. Chips or pretzels?
Ooh, pretzels.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, pretzels.
Fries or tots?
Let's go with fries here, Grant. I'm gonna take fries.
All right, I like it. TV or movie? What are you sitting down to relax and watch?
Ooh, it's been movie recently. Yeah. Actually, no, I lied. I've been watching a ton of South Park lately. I forgot how good that show was. God, it's funny.
Okay, all right, a little bit of TV. Are aliens real, Jim?
No.
Oh, okay. Bigfoot, See real.
Yes. Yes.
So we're going
Absolutely.
no.
He's right here, Grant.
Yes on Bigfoot. Oh man, I mean, what a controversial statement.
Yeah.
Jim, is love at first sight real?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Who are two bands that we don't know that we ought to check out? Educate me, please.
What kind of genre?
Maybe your friends, people you don't, people you kind of in the community with. You mentioned somebody from Houston earlier. But.
Check out Grace Harrison from Houston, Texas. She is a singer-songwriter. She's very talented. She just released a couple of songs. Who else is out there that I've been listening to? Oh, I got a guy on I follow on TikTok who is really good. Let me give you his name real quick. Sam Donald, and he is from Mississippi, and he has got some bangers on Spotify. He's he's got real metal influences. Sounds a lot like Chevelle, Breaking Benjamin, kind of deep drop C guitars, big growly guitars, but he writes country music, and he's good, dude. He's good. Check him out.
Sam Donald and Grace Harrison. Love it.
That's it.
We will check them out. Well, you've completed Pete Peterson's party pack of questions, Jim. You destroyed it.
Let's go, baby.
The video for Tethered Soul out this week. This week is May 9th.
Also on Tethered Soul, I had a co-write on that song. Her name's Carlisle Griffith. She's in Nashville, another independent artist. You should check her out.
Carlisle Griffin. He's throwing in a late round buzz for me.
Sorry, but she helped me co-write that song. That's why I thought about it.
Okay. All right. Check them out. You can go check out Sam Donald. Go check out Grace Harrison, Carlisle Griffin. This is Jim Brown. Go check his music out. Go follow him on Instagram.
Let's go, baby.
Jim B Music. I don't know how
That's
you
it.
got that handle. I don't know how you swung that.
Lucked up, I guess. I don't know.
But unbelievable. And so check all his stuff out. He former Clemson snapper and now turned into rock star. Jim Brown, thank you so much for coming on.
Dude, I appreciate it, man.
Indiebnb.
Great seeing you again, dude. Let's not go this long without talking. Let's catch up soon, man.
I love it.
Next time I'm in Atlanta, I'll call you.
Yeah, call me. We'll be there.
Rock on, dude.